Mr. Chairman. Thank you, all the witnesses, for being here. And Secretary Connor, these questions are for you. And I don't want to just bring my individual district's issues in here, but I think it's lessons learned for the history of the meeting. So I'm working with the Louisville District Office with a dam removal project that's currently going on, authorized by Congress, of the Green River Dam, lock and down number 5 specifically. It was for navigational purposes. It's not navigable for commercial traffic these days. And so to be removed. So, and I will say that your Louisville office, all of them are, the professionals are professional, the commanders have been great to work with, but it's a difficult situation, and they're kind of in a difficult situation. And so what happened is, we decided, get the information to put in a bill to take out the dam, and the argument that came from the local leaders was this is going to affect our intake for our water system. And well, the studies say this can't happen at the lower level, won't go to the level that they say it's going to go to. It can never happen. Well, guess what? Once the dam started coming out, we had a drought, and the factor of safety was not there anymore. So we're dealing with that issue. And the problem is, if the Corps of Engineers has said, hey, you need to take the dam out, it's the right thing to do, and we all agree to it, but there could be some things that need to be mitigated, then Congress could appropriate that within that bill. But now that's happening. We're having an issue, and working with the Corps, they understand the problem. Like I said, your people are professional, but now they're saying, well, we can't do anything unless Congress comes back and help appropriates and moves forward, which is a process that I'm involved in and working for. We have a water bill coming this year. But it is frustrating that we don't foresee these problems and try to get a jump on them. Does the Corps look at those issues before and then try to mitigate even moving forward? I don't know how familiar you are with that specific project, but that's important to us.
I have become more familiar with it, and I hope to be out there in the next couple of months. I owe Louisville a visit.
We'd love to have you, host you. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I appreciate you working with our district office. We should be looking at those. I don't know the specifics of the situation of how, we didn't believe that the levels were going to drop and then the intake was at risk. So I need to learn more about that. But the bottom line is, in any water resource project now, we understand it's not just aquatic ecosystem, flood risk reduction, or water supply. They all affect each other now. So if we didn't, we should be looking at all those factors as we consider dam removal, and we consider all the benefits or the implications of it. So we'll do a deeper dive, but I appreciate right now, I think we've got a strategy where some of the stakeholders are offering assistance. And let me be clear, we will work with your office. We do environmental infrastructure projects, so if we need to add that water supply piece to help effectuate this overall dam removal process, we are definitely open to working with you, Congressman.
That'd absolutely be helpful. And if you come, we have Fort Knox right there. We have, this project is about 10 minutes from Mammoth Cave National Park. So it would be worth your visit to come. We'd love to host you to be there.
Thank you.
And just so overall, when the Corps looks at this, and I know this is a TVA dam, but I was actually born in the Shoals area of Alabama, so I understand this. I don't know the Columbia River system as well as I know the Tennessee River system. And 100 years ago, it was pre-TVA, they built the Wilson Dam, which backed up the water. And in over 100 years, the entire society's developed around it. I mean, it's when I say Shoals Creek, you can ski on it. And there's not just recreational, but commercial. I think the wildlife has seemed to have adapted to it. And so when you say go back to natural, I understand having a dam there is not nature, but it all is nature has accommodated the dam. And so if you say we're going to take dams out, TVA is not talking about Wilson Dam, I'm just using that as an example. It does affect current society. And so the question is, do y'all factor that in as well when you start looking at projects for bringing dams out? I know that it's not the way God created it, but it is the way that human society has developed around it, and that's important to factor in as well.
Yes, Congressman, I've been involved in a lot of dam removal situations in other capacities, as well as working with the Corps. Most of those situations are driven by the interests of local stakeholders that start a dialogue and try and build a coalition. A lot of times it's related to the benefits of this facility, while they were once significant, are no longer of value, particularly when you take into account the costs from an environmental standpoint, or the implications as in other situations where you're impacting other communities, such as tribes in the Snake River Basin, the Columbia River system. Usually that's where the start of the dialogue happens. That's why I say all the dam removal projects, breaching issues, and some aren't breached, is driven by local circumstances and usually local folks.
Thank you. Well, and I'm out of time, but if you could coordinate when we're not in session, I could be there with you. We'd host you and it'd be a worthwhile.
Thank you,
trip.
Congressman.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Gentleman yields back. Recognize Mr. VC.